Thank you, folks. Please welcome back Matan Yair, director, writer of the film. Thank you so much, Matan. This is really a gem and a beautiful film on so many levels, and I have a lot of questions, and I'm happy to take questions from the audience as well, so we'll open it up to them soon. Tell me, where did this come from? How did this movie come together?
So actually, this story is a little bit autobiography film. I've spent a few years with my mother in the same room after my dad. My dad was shell shock from Yom Kippur War. Here it's Lebanon War, but he was shell shock. Yom Kippur was 73. I was born at 77. And when my dad left home a little bit before, so my mother and I shared the same room for a long time. And we had this symbiosis, yeah, we were very close, like in the movie. And I wanted to deal with this thing in life, but as a grown kid living in Israel, with the army ahead, and all the time the personal story and the story of our country or the Jewish history all the time mixed together or clashes together. So I was trying to tell this story, which is not only personal but also a little bit more about growing up in Israel.
And casting this, of course, your lead is unbelievable.
His name is Gilad. We were looking for him for about a year and a half, and he was 17 years old when we made the film, so it's like the actual age. And now he's in the army. He's doing like this. He's in a secret unit, like doing this commando stuff, which is very far from my protagonist in the film.
Amazing, and really, I mean, there's so much detail within his character and carries it all with...
Yeah, I would like to say something like you've seen in the dance scene. So on one wall of the room there is this poster of John Lennon, and on the other side of the room there is a poster of Travis Bickle, Robert De Niro, Taxi Driver. And actually Travis Bickle killed John Lennon in real life, like Mark Chapman. And Gilad, the character, I was looking for to have these two ends in his personality. The one of the artist or more sensitive person like John Lennon, but on the other side that he will have this, because he has this rage. It comes out with his sister when he's checking her condoms, and about the dog and the sexuality over there. So he's capable of holding these two sides of personality for my sake. So I was looking for that, and he gave it.
And he's not taken to the army at the end. Is that where we're?
No, I think that in the end there's. I think what Uri goes through, that in the beginning he tells everything that he thinks, and there are no boundaries, because the film is about boundaries between in the family, him and his mother, but also it's not like that the father is telling him that if there were no boundaries we could walk from Israel across Lebanon, Syria to Turkey. So he deals with this matter, and Uri in the beginning he speaks everything he's thinking of, and there is no boundary between him and the world. And then he understands in the ceremony for the Holocaust Day that he just needs to say what he feels, but undercover. And he says in the end that he's reading from the diary of Tadek, but he's saying his own feelings, and he understands that this is the way that he needs to handle or to go through life more safe. And also that when he is working, you can feel that he's a little bit more stronger. He's working at the pizza, and he has the first time that he can look at his mother and a little bit far, and to think about this year that they had together, or a little bit more of a year. But you can feel that he's, or I hope you want that he will start a new path in life.
But what was he? Is he going to go to the army after that, or is it?
I think that he will.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that. One of the things also that this film really captures is that Israeli-specific experience of high school, of 12th grade, from the trip to Poland to... This is actually one dichotomy that's like so specific to Israel, and I remember thinking of this in other films too. In America, the phys ed teacher is is kind of down here, and of course in Israel, that's the guy that everybody admires, and
Only in the film, really.
Well-
But no,
they prepare you for the army. They're
yeah, but most of the teachers like they throw football and say like bring us back the ball at the end of the lesson. But I think that Uri is looking up to Rockman because his dad is so someone that you can't trust, or someone that has his own weird way in life. And Rockman, as his name, is like a rock. He's very solid. He knows what's right and what's wrong, and he knows that you need to go to the army, and he will always do the right thing. So Uri is very attached to it because he thinks Rockman is something that he doesn't have in his own life, and he's searching for it. And Rockman is like a real person that in high school in Israel. So some people in Israel know him.
the real Rockman. Stability. He finds his stability there. I'd love to take questions from the audience too and make you a part of this conversation. Thank
I hope
We'll
that you laughed a little bit from the jokes, you know, although it's about the Holocaust, but I hope, okay.
Wonderful.
That's allowed in high school in Israel.
A very small detail. What was the detail of the glasses? Why was he so afraid that Rockman would be like humiliated with the other students for not taking glasses?
I think that the glasses is like also like to show that this kid has no boundaries, and you can't expect what he will do. But I think that he feels for Rockman that he's afraid that the kids will laugh at him, and so he wants to like to take care of him, and that there will be this that sometimes Uri takes care of the teacher, and sometimes the teacher takes care of him. So I wanted it to be like that. So that's the thing there.
This one up here.
Well, you made a great movie.
Thank you
Fantastic.
very much. I hope you all heard that.
I wanted to ask you about the poster at the father's place where he lives.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
How does that
yeah.
fit?
It was this very like a memory that I had, that for a long time I went to school as a kid, junior high, and I didn't know where my father was, and I didn't know his address. I didn't know his phone number. There was no cell phone, and I didn't know where he was and if he was missing me or not. And one day, he just was outside of my school, and he took me to a place, and I was there at this place, and I didn't know if it was like a clinic, if it was, but I remember this picture of something of the stomach, like it was a clinic for a gastro or something like that. And we were sitting in this place, which was like an office, a clinic. There was no toilet over there, and this is the place that he was staying. And that was his room, like a room of his own. It's not only for Uri, in my sake. It's also the dad, also the mother that is looking for a place. But I was there, and I remember very clearly that unaware, I was like looking at the place, and I knew that I have no place where he's staying, and that I have no place in his life, his new life. And actually, after that meeting, we haven't met like for a few years. He was drifting a little bit. Also, the drifting, like I don't know, I don't know if you felt that in the movie, but I was like. The bed, him and his mother are sharing. So it's like this rhapsody in sea. They are both like in this sea, which is really stormy, and the bed is like a safe place for them both. But the picture in the clinic, so it's something that was in my mind.
Did your father get to see this film?
My father passed a few years ago, so he didn't watch it. But as Uri says in the film, that he swears that he won't tell his father that he loves him. So I had to take this oath to myself, And I never told my dad after he left home the way he did. I never told him that I love him. And even when he was, I'm not proud of it, I'm just saying how it was. Even when he was in hospital in his last days, so I couldn't tell him because I needed to keep loyal to the kid I once was. So it's something that was, yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
I enjoyed the movie.
Thank you.
Why did you make the father such a complete arse?
I don't like. For me, when you say so, I didn't mean like that he will be such a person, like because when the scene that he gives the son the mini atlas with the maps and he puts his hand over his shoulder. Yeah, but he's doing a really a violent act when he's leaving them and the way he lives. So yeah, but between the lines, I do want to like show you that this man is not 100%. That the way that he talks about the Lebanon war. And the way that he says that the kids in school needs to learn about when Paul met John, and this is the most important thing. And so you can feel that he's a little bit off, but if you felt what you felt, so you know, that's it.
Thank you. I'm interested in finding out why the Shoah played such a critical part in his life.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Okay, so when you grow up in Israel, so I remember when I was in the first grade and I was walking through the corridors and there were pictures of people in black and white from Ghetto Warsaw, from Ghetto Lodz, from the camps, and I was walking like, you know, and you look at them and you understand that they are part of you and you are part of them. And you have the ceremonies, and you learn about the Holocaust, and you have the Holocaust Day, and the television and the programs. And if there was a research about how many times the word Holocaust each in the press each day in the Israeli press is pronounced is like it's so fundamental in the Israeli growing up. And for me, this kid is like thinking about. Surviving. How will he survive the time in his life? And it bothers him, and he's thinking about it, and he's obsessed by it. And in a way, he's finding power or comfort, you know, in these stories of things that happened, which are larger than life, and it gives him maybe a proportion to his life. It gives him maybe encouragement, hope in a way that people who survived, but he's obsessed about that thing, and it's something that which is very fundamental in Israeli culture, society, history. So it's a big part, and also the country is making this combination between the Holocaust and the IDF. You know, it's
Are you serious?
Yes. It's something because the country of Israel was
An outgrowth of whatever.
Yeah, so it's something that the connection is there.
Okay.
I thought it was a nice touch that Rockman actually followed Uri's advice not to wear his glasses. I thought that was a very nice touch. And I was just wondering if, like, you meant Uri to be a example of a non-macho Israeli male, which didn't seem like too successful a model.
Yeah, you know, I will tell you my plan was like my biggest critic that I have, or it's like you understand that these kids who are going to the army in the age of 18, some of them, you know, they are dealing with the things in their life about their father figure, about their mother, their relationship. They are still their identity is not made yet, and they are so fragile, and they are so still small, I would say, and for us to understand that these kids are going to be unnaturally, in an unnaturally way, because it's mandatory 18, that they will step to this moment that they leave house, they leave home, and they go to use the rifle and to how to be in combat. So it's when you think about it, it's a little bit. No matter what you say, how it's a little bit crazy, but that's living in Israel. So that's the thing that I wanted to say, that that you can see this kid or other kids, because also the protagonist in Scaffolding, also he has these family issues, and you understand how absurd it's a little bit.
We're going to take 3 last questions. I see one here, one up there, and one over there.
Thank you. I'll preface by saying it was very compelling. Thank you. And the backstory makes it even more so. Thank you for that. I just wanted to ask about the inscriptions in the books, a similar one for the mother and the son. Was that your way of saying that he wasn't an ass all the time, or that there was something there that he had to give at some point at least?
I think that, there's a scene that the mother is reading the
The inscription.
That the father wrote, that at the moment that the father wrote it, he meant it. But life, love doesn't. There's always a fight between love and life. And life won, and love didn't continue. And she is looking at the words, and the words are true. And the father, he has or had love in him. And I think that the books are like making the mother and the son closer to each other, or there is this similarity between them. So I really didn't have a plan to make the father such a arse. but okay.
He was complex. I thought that there was complexity there. We have another question up here.
It's a beautiful film on multiple levels. Thank you very much, and it's close to home personally to me. I have a son similar to your protagonist. And I just want to say that even though the movie is very profound emotionally and raises a lot of questions, the humor that is woven into it is fantastic, and the contrast is beautiful. The beginning was just hilarious, but my question is, was it conceived as the way for you to work through your personal issues, and if so, did it do it when the movie was made now?
Are you cured?
No, I did not say that.
No,
did it help?
But I think that I was interested in my mother, who is actually she's in the first scene when he's standing. So it's my own mother, and we have this issue that we need to solve between us. About us staying in the same room and all these things, and she's now 80, and she's getting more and more old, and also I, and I think that this movie is something that for our communication that was important for me, or for me to understand how am I now as a father, and what this period of time did to me, or how it affects my life, or intimacy, because he is reaching a really high intimacy with his mother and with the woman, and he has no male model in his life. So all these things I was interested about, and I wanted to understand, and I'm still trying to understand. So.
But let me dig into that a little bit more. If when you're making a film, and there's your own stuff that you're working through, what are you hoping the audience will get from that?
I hope that the audience will find beauty, or something that will touch them, or that they will finish the film and they will think about their relationship with their father or mother, or they will miss their father or mother, or will regret something, or that it will, like you work in the garden and you need sometimes to take the dirt a little bit out, the ground, so that it will do something to your soul, but that you will see this beauty in this movie or a certain scene or in something that will wake up your soul in a way. So that's the thing.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
We have one last question up here.
I would love just a little bit more insight into the scene in the gym with the bully character, and just to wondering about the placement of that and what was going on there.
So it's a good question. What was going on there? Because tell you the truth, I did. It was like this. I wanted to show like when Rockman is using the family name of this kid. In brackets, it's like a little bit of something between Mizrahi and Ashkenazi in Israel, and that he uses this name Hamam all the time, his family name, and not his person name. And he's saying, "Why you only saying to me my second name all the time?" So it touches a little bit about this. That Rockman is not perfect, and Rockman he has this this moment that he feels that the kids can go at him, and he feels that he himself crossed the line, and that he's pushed. And I needed that, I think, a little bit for that their moment together at the end of the film, with the siren of the Holocaust is on, so that they can reach out to each other and like that he can give him the hug. So that was the thing.
Matan, I wanna tell you this film. Yes, people were grateful that you managed to stir some things up and emotions. I think there's so much detail and life in this film, and it really brings Israeli cinema kind of in a very simple way, and just by showing humanity, it brings something that is completely universal and completely really artistic and beautiful. So I want to thank you so much for sharing this with us and for
Thank you all.
being here.
Thank you all.